is Warriors Anonymous.
Well, with so much drama in the halfback seat, it's kind of hard being Coach WEBB. But why? That's because Luke Metcalf, he wants his jersey back somehow, some way. But, you know, Tanah Boyd just keeps coming up with the funky-ass shit like every single play. Boys, on that note, I don't even know if Isaac is frozen anymore or if it's just his shocked expression. What an interesting episode we have coming up. This is Warriors content brought to you by a bunch of nobodies. Check warriorsanonymous.co.nz for your Warriors Anonymous merch. We've actually been getting some good sales through lately as well. So thank you for buying your merch and get it there if you want it. So boys, it's supposed to be the bloody the bye week, the week off, and it's all been happening ever since last Wednesday or so. It all kicked off when we heard that Luke Metcalf had asked his management to go and chat to the Warriors about the long-term future. So it got me thinking about, first off, how do we start this episode? We'll lead him with a hard or nah, and we'll go with Luke Metcalf is a better long-term halfback than Tanah Boyd. Hard or nah? We'll start with Isaac before his internet craps out.
Yeah, thanks. That's a really tough one. Because for both of them, I haven't seen a large enough sample size. Like for both of them, they're pretty much playing off the same sample size, which is half a season, if that. You got to give me 1 or 2 years of week in, week out performance for me to be able to judge that. So, okay. In terms of upside alone, I'm gonna say Metcalf. That's neither here nor there answer.
Yep. So you're hard for Metcalf as the better long term halfback. We'll lock it in.
Yeah, just in terms of talent.
Monitor.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Monitor, hard or nah, bro? Metcalf better long term halfback than Tanah Boyd.
Oh no. It depends how you look at it, right? In terms of talent and reaching their potential, I think Metcalf's probably better. But in terms of steering the ship and keeping to the structures and playing and being able to keep the team to playing as a team, Tanah. So if I'm talking team, Tanah Boyd. If I'm talking potential, I'm talking, Metcalf. And spoken like a true politician, I didn't answer your question. So
you get it.
Well, what I'd tell you is,
I'd probably go. I'm a long-term investment. Metcalf. There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 Metcalfs there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Would your answer change if we go on to win the premiership this year with Tanah Boyd as a halfback?
It would have to. It would have to change, right? But it goes back to Isaac's, I guess, point around sample size, right? We saw half a season with Metcalf last year. He did pretty well. And no, Tanah Boyd's kicking ass at the moment, right? And so I think it's hard to, because they're both good players. So, but going back to your question, just in terms of potential, I think, Metcalf has probably got a bit more of a ceiling. And I've had a few commentators mention that a few times too. So, yeah.
The thing about Luke is that he loves those big moments, right? Those crunch plays, the last-minute field goals, penalty goals, whatnot. He wants the ball. And I haven't quite seen that yet from Tanah Boyd. But having said that, he's been doing a great job leading the ship. But in terms of how this whole thing has played out, has Metcalf maybe was Metcalf right, or to get his management to contact the Warriors? Do you think, Isaac?
Oh, I heard otherwise. Was it him? He got his manager, or was it the management wanted to get?
Oh, either or.
Yeah. Okay.
they should have left it for the end of the season.
What do you think, Isaac?
Oh my god, this is so laggy as fuck. But okay, they should have left it. They should have left it for the end of the season. The one point about Metcalf as well is that if we were looking at 10 seasons ago and the Warriors weren't doing so well and they wanted to put bums on seats, you would have Metcalf over Tanah Boyd because he's a highlight reel of a player. But now we don't need those sorts of players to put bums on seats. The team is already going really well. So it's kind of almost an economics thing too, in terms of dollars and cents. Look, in terms of Metcalf and how the whole thing played out since last week, they should have just left it till the off season. I mean, for a club that prides itself on being like all in, everyone on the same page, it's not a good look. And I can't imagine Webby would be too happy about it. And I can't imagine the rest of the team would be too happy about it either when we're on such a high, we're on such a wave of support and a wave of results. It just throws a spanner in the works. No matter what anyone says, the optics aren't good.
It's funny. Yeah, I think we missed about half of your message then, but we still managed to get the meat of the argument that you've put forward. Moneta, did it send the wrong message to the fans the way things have gone?
Yeah. I mean, you only had to look at Tanah Boyd last year, right? I think the entire year he was just plugging away, waiting for the right time. And I would have thought, with Metcalf, this would give him more, kind of drive to kind of get better, to prove himself back in that number 7. So I'm not saying it's a shortcut to try to get back into number 7, but, kind of going to the boss and, like I would have thought, like, here's how I'm going to prove myself. Maybe I'll go back to New South Wales, prove that I'm just kicking ass there. They'll have to let me back in. I just bide my time, and when I get my opportunity, I will just nail it, right? So, but I guess, like, when you take these sportsmen don't have a long shelf life, in terms of, so I guess he's trying to maximize himself in terms of, I don't know, his kind of sellability, his market buy, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it did kind of, I don't know. I don't think it was positive. That's all I could say. But I think there's another angle. I think, I think what is unfair, I think, there's a lot of people already bagging him and already forgetting what he's done last year. Already saying, oh, but you see those 2 guys, yada, yada. But it's already like they've just thrown him to the wall. So all I'm saying, there's 2 sides to the story, right? Give the man a chance. He's already probably any number 1 to some degree with some of the fans. I'm like, just calm your shit down. So, yeah.
And also, it is a job, right? You got to...
Yeah.
When it comes to just clarifying what the role is, and how the club envisions things, I see that as being totally fair enough. And I'd be like, so what are we thinking? What are we thinking now? Especially with, Tanah Boyd has now been extended, apparently, or reportedly anyway, until 2029. So, so that's going to create a couple of, effectively 2 sevens. So, Isaac, could Tanah Boyd be moved to play 6? Or do you think Luke could have his mind changed by the Warriors with them both on the roster?
Have his mind changed? Like, I can't see why not. I mean, he was a running 7 anyway, and a running 7 isn't that far removed from, a 6 as it is in terms of like the style of play, and arguably it might free him up to shine even more. He can still be a superstar. You can be a superstar at number 6. There's number 6s littered across the league that are superstars. Why can't he fit into that mold? But Tanner's an out-and-out 7. I mean, he in the past at Gold Coast he did play a little spell at 9, I think, as well. But he is really a traditional number 7, where Luke is not a traditional number 7.
He's definitely got that that extra flair, I think, to his game, which has probably cursed him a little bit in his development, because, like, especially when he was at the Sharks, he was, they put him out at center in the wing. He's played fullback as well. He's got speed, right? So So that's kind of held him back, I guess, from where he really wants to go. But Chanel Harris-Tavita is also, it's been reported anyway that he's in talks about an extension of his contract, but only for 1 year. So what do we make of that? That's another interesting wrinkle in this little tapestry of contracts. Moneta.
Well, he's testing the market, right? And he's always been the type of person to try new experiences and adventures, like that's why he took that sabbatical for about a year. So I think, it tells me that there is a bit of momentum going on for the Warriors, but I think he's hoping to do something special for the next 2 years, and he wants to go see what he can do after the next 2 years. So, like I said, he's always about trying new experiences, and so I don't blame him, because I think, once he goes out to open market, he'll be pretty much he'll be asked for. I know Todd Payton was wanting him in the Cowboys, so there's rumors of that. So yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, so apparently, the Cowboys have extended Jake Clifford as well. So that further, it's a very muddy waters sort of game.
Yeah,
it's half carousel, I guess.
Well, the Chiefs, PNG Chiefs, that is the wow.
Yeah. They are. They're very on trend at the moment. The Chiefs.
Yeah.
With the tax-free money, but it wouldn't apply to a guy like Chanel anyway, because you have to be an Australian citizen for that.
Australian citizen.
So. Yeah.
Oh yes, good point.
Yeah. So that's an interesting. I find that really quite a funny sort of approach, I guess, Isaac, because Chanel was a guy who effectively at the start of the season they told him, "You're not going to be required beyond this year. We're not going to extend you." But then he's just come in, he's gone about his business, and he's another one. He's been basically kicking the door down. So, Isaac, what are you thinking for Chanel in terms of what his thinking is at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know him super well, but from my experiences with him and podcasts in the past with him, I think he just marches to the beat of his own drum. I think he just wants to keep all options open and only want to tie himself down for 1 year. He's probably going to be a man on a mission this year, I'd say. He's already playing like it. But, talking to him, it sort of seems like maybe he's thinking there's more to life and he doesn't want to miss out. While the going's good, time to a 1 year deal, and then maybe just he can see how he feels at the time. I think he's probably he's quite emotionally mature. I think he realizes maybe this isn't everything, and he wants to keep his options open in case something else pops up, and he wants to, roam the world.
Yeah, he's great at keeping things just in perspective, right? So,
yep.
Interesting. I'm wondering with Chanel, because of how he's, how things started at the beginning of the year, and they just said, we'll just play out this year and then you can find options to go from there. I'm wondering if that's sort of that's actually a reason why he's saying for next year we'll just look at 1 year ahead and just take it as it comes. I'm not gonna
good point.
Get locked into anything. There's never any guarantees as to how things go. We could well be trying to go back to back premiers next year. You never know how shit's gonna bloody turn out. But if we just have a little glance into our crystal ball, if we think ahead to round 1 of 2027, the first Tuesday team list has been named. We'll start with you, Moneta. Who have you got lining up in the 6 jumper and the number 7?
You bastard. I can't see past CHT number 6. I know I said about Metcalf being I see if Tanah Boyd continues, I see Tanah Boyd continuing to be but it's a long season. So but and the way it's now predicating on past trend and current trend, I see CHT and Tanah Boyd. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But it's a long season. A
Oh,
long
it
season.
is a long season. We're only like about a third of the way in, so
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
got a couple of buys remaining after this one as well, and some interesting.
Oh, I hate buys for us. So we traditionally don't come back from buys that well.
Well, see, yeah,
Yeah.
hold that thought as well, because we're going to definitely delve into that as we look forward to the Broncos game. But Isaac, who have you got? Give us your little look into the crystal ball and see into the future, round 1, 2027. Who's lining up at number 6 and number 7? I'm not saying 6, 7, just number 6 and number 7.
Yeah, if I was going to put my Sostradamus hat on, I'm thinking Metcalf's the old man out.
Interesting. Okay, so Tanner 7 and Chanel 6 for both you boys.
Yeah, I think both. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm nodding, but it's lagging as
Yeah.
fuck.
All right. Yeah.
You're just smiling. You're just smiling in agreement.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Hey, when it lags, you just smile and nod like
Number 1.
high five. Yes. Oh man. Now in terms of coming back from the bye, Moneta, you've mentioned we're not traditionally great coming back from the break. We're also not traditionally great taking on the Broncos, especially at Suncorp. So how do we overcome that? Because the Broncos, they haven't been traveling, too great of late. They've got plenty of injuries, but they will be, they will be fired up to not go out and get embarrassed on their home ground against us. So yeah, how do we make sure we uphold our end of the bargain?
Well, just making sure we play to the same intensity, right? Do not take their injuries for granted. That's all I can say. I know they're missing Staggs, Haas. I think Reynolds is coming back and so forth. But yeah, don't be complacent. I think maybe at times last year, maybe we were complacent after coming back from the bye. And I think fans were a bit complacent too. And I was one of those fans. So I'm hoping that, they kind of taken lessons from last year after when that happened, and they just kind of, yeah. But the good thing to know is that Andrew Webster's already called that out, that they're traditionally not good at coming back after bye. So they already know themselves. So that gives me confidence that they're doing something about it to make sure they come back ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, Webby was actually, after the Parramatta game, he was very committal, I guess, in regards to selections. And he just basically said, look, we're not going to bloody change anything, which has been interesting because throughout the whole season, we'd have a good win and everyone's like, don't change anything. And then, changes will get made, through like injury or suspension or whatnot. But Isaac, let's start at fullback. We've got Taine Tuopiki, the incumbent. Chance Nickel Klukstad is fit again. Who are you envisioning? There's a lot of what's the word? Clairvoyant stuff going on in this episode. Who are you picking to take the number 1?
Taine. He's just got he's got runs under his belt. He's playing lights out at the moment almost every week, and he fits the way the team's playing. So sorry, Chance. We really appreciate your service to the club, but it's going to take an injury or two for you to force your way back in the team at the moment.
It's going to be fascinating as well, even to see how they work the extended bench. 6 players, and then you got guys like Chance and Metcalf available. In terms of how they slot them in the squad is going to be fascinating. Monitor centers. I saw a little video today of the Warriors training, and it included Roger running around freely, looking happy, joy in his eyes. So yeah, he was. Well, they didn't give a timeline on his injury for return from the AC joint, I think it was. So, what are you thinking for our center position?
Oh, easy. Sorry. This is, for me, it's Ali Latawa and RTS. Yeah, don't change it. Ali Latawa's just smashing it out of the park before he got that injury, the concussion against the Dolphins. Yeah, don't change it. I know Pompey's, he was good. He was reliable. But Ali Latawa, he was just, he was like showing his potential and getting better and better each game. And I was, definitely those two, Ali Latawa and RTS.
So just to recap, you're saying don't change it by making the change of bringing back Ali Leatawa.
Oh no, but that was Ali Latawa. Well, come on, man. You know what I mean. Because Ali Latawa came off, so Pompey came back. And so I always thought Ali Latawa was on before. So you got me on a technicality.
Not guilty, Your Honour. Isaac, can you see, obviously Mitch Barnett will come back into the mix as well, and I believe our boy Tanah Smith. So can you foresee any, maybe any tinkering with the starting lineup?
No.
Nope. Full steam ahead.
Everything, I think, full steam ahead. The Ford pack revolves around two people at the moment. It's Jackson Ford and Aaron Clark, and they dictate who comes off when, and just the general rhythm of the game in terms of the Ford pack. It's those two, where Jackson Ford just doesn't come off, and then Aaron Clark, can come on in spells, and then the rest of the team rotates around that.
Yep, nice, bro. Looking forward actually as well to seeing how Lecker goes this weekend, because I just wanted to see a little bit of a, maybe just regain a little bit of confidence. It's probably the key thing for him. But also, of course, coming up, everyone's talking about Origin selection. So, what are we thinking there, boys? What are we thinking first of all for Jackson Ford and his prospects getting selected in the Blues, Monitor?
I mean, you guys know I don't care about the Blues, right? But
that's exactly why I asked you the question.
But if you want a 80-minute engine, they've got their man right there. Jackson Ford, and he can play the full 80 minutes. And Origin is a full 80-minute game. Well, there we go. I'm shooting myself in the foot again. Every game is a full 80-minute game.
Not always.
But the intensity that they play at, and I think Jackson Ford definitely should deserve a selection for New South Wales. Part of me doesn't want him to be, because I want him to stay playing for the Warriors. But yeah, he deserves it.
As a Queensland supporter, would you be happier with Ford out of the team? Or would you rather have him playing against your...
It's a hard one, because I think if they had their full selection, if Haas was in, I'd rather not play against a lot of Haas or Jackson Ford, but yeah, I'd probably think Haas is probably the better choice. But with Jackson Ford's form, if you're going to go with form, you go with Jackson Ford. It's like how they're arguing over Stephen Crichton and Katoni Staggs. People say no, Crichton's New South Wales player, he should be in there, no doubt. But if you base it on form, Katoni Staggs is probably the best to go with. So if you're going form based, I'd go with Jackson Ford. So yeah,
sure. Isaac, is Jacko an Origin type player? There's people knocking him that he may not be quite the right sort of guy for the arena.
I think the game's changed so much that he's probably the right player for the Origin of now and the future, where the game is so fast and 6-agains just happen, on a regular basis. Oh, it's laggy as fuck, isn't it?
It was. It kind of, yeah. It sort of started off real slow, and then it just caught up in a rush. And we were like,
oh, damn!
Should I be saying anything now, or should I just shut the fuck up?
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Let me try this again now. Yeah, Jackson Ford is cut out for New Age Origin. I think people are just looking with a bit of nostalgia back at the old days and stuff like that. But the game's changed a lot, and that's why he's doing so well this year, because the speed of the game he's caught up with. And a lot of these games throughout the season, they're big, massive blowouts. Defense has kind of gone out the window, but Jackson Ford's probably one of the few players that has stepped up in the modern game and is still able to defend at a high level. So they're gonna want that in the Origin arena, and there's only one way to find out. It's to play them.
Yeah, nice. Just looking ahead at the Broncos, it is Magic Round. We are the home team hosting the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Moneta, watching the Broncos game at least last week against Manly. Manly just strangled the shit out of them and really just, squashed them out of the game. And I looked at that and thought, well, that's exactly the blueprint that we are looking at, for taking them down. What are your keys to victory this weekend for the Magic Round?
Probably just sticking to the basics again. Let's not get those silly penalties again. There were a couple of silly penalties we had against the can't remember who now. What was the last game we played against? Eels, yeah. There were a couple of silly penalties we let in. I remember this spew and a couple of errors. So if we can get, we've got to eliminate those because with the Broncos, yes, they've got a few injuries, but they're still a caliber team, and they've still got that little pretty boy Reece Walsh in the back who can create magic from nothing and so forth. And like you said, I think they may have something to prove this weekend, especially at their home stadium. But I think if they play their kind of, the same game that they've been playing, like really strong up in the middle and so forth, and, really utilizing the pace we have with Pereira now. Oh, man, he's so good, he's so quick. Yeah, we keep on sticking to the same form, just getting rid of those errors, because I think those have potential to cost us a bit more against the really good teams like the Broncos. Eels, not so.
That's been the recipe, isn't it? Like low error
Mm.
count, low penalty count, and just strangling them basically, and then adding the cream at the end with a bit of Roger or Loffy kind of magic. Yeah. But we've all gone for the Warriors in this game. Initially, I was kind of thinking before this weekend, I was actually thinking of picking the Broncos, just because of how we come back from the bye traditionally, being in Brisbane, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. But from having watched that Manly game, I was like, well, that's exactly the style that is needed to just thump them out, and they didn't really respond to it too well. So I'm putting a bit of faith in our boys to come back and not sort of be a bit cold on things. But Isaac, who are you looking for, bro? Who are your key players for us, and also who are the key players for us to look out for this weekend?
Key players for us. Can I start on the other side? Because I watched that Brisbane Manly game as well, and Brisbane just didn't fire a shot. And I think a lot of it comes down to putting a lot of pressure on their halves, because Ezra Mann was shit. And everyone's entitled to have a bad game, but he really shat the bed. And he's playing for an Origin jersey, because there's spots available. So it could go either way for him. He could step up, or he could just have a complete meltdown. I think if the Warriors play it right, they could force him to have a meltdown, because there weren't really many playmaking options after Ezra Mann, and he wasn't playing that well. I mean, I think they might have shelved him or hooked Ben Hunt and pulled Thomas Duffy, the youngster, off the bench to play in the halves, and that didn't really make much of a difference either. So I think it's putting pressure on the halves, because their forward pack is serviceable, but it's not outstanding.
Reynolds is back.
Yeah, if Reynolds is back, that does make a difference.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Put some heat on the halves. Renault, he's in and out of that team with injury. Ezra Mann is low on form. The forward pack, I think, our forward pack will easily match up with theirs. It's not giving the backline the space to unlock the likes of Reece Walsh and whatnot by putting heat on them. So I think, again, if I'm not commenting on anyone in our team, I think it's just across the board defensive pressure up in their face, not giving them any space to light it up.
I'm going to say, this is going to sound very strange, but I am going to suggest a rope-a-dope maneuver on Adam Reynolds. And that is, everyone just stick to your man and let Reynolds run straight through. The further away from our try line, the better, because the longer he'll have to run. And just see how those old legs go. Just give him a 50, 60 meter run. Keep an eye on everyone else. That's cool. Just let him run for 50, 60 and see see how the calves hold up. But that's a little bit cynical of me. But yeah. Anyways, it's gonna be a fascinating encounter. I saw actually today the Warriors opening a merchandise store up in Brisbane as well, called Up the Wires. So so that's gonna be. I think it'll be an interesting one for the split of the crowd because. Obviously it is in Brisbane, but to be honest, Warriors fans, they go in there and they own that shit, like they turn it on. I know the Warrior Holic's going to be there. I know that Richie Morgan and Warrior Nation are all going to be there as well. So it's going to be drums. I know that Richie is actually he's on the lookout for a trumpeter as well. Wants to take it up a next level to try and make some even more noise. So yeah, it's gonna be. I think it'll be a great occasion. It's been a bit of a funny one as to why they selected these two teams to play each other. It's kind of just putting all your chips into the table in one game in terms of the atmosphere and that. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting occasion. I think I want to go for my key man. Give me Egan. Just run the show. Just keep them, keep them honest around markers and keep poking your nose through for those little short side plays as well. He's starting to really get a little bit more involved in just going on those little off script kind of plays, which end up working out pretty well. Boys, any more notes before we jump out of this one?
To your point about what they might pick on, yeah, you're right about Wade Egan. I think if they play the youngster Antonio Verhoeven, he can expect a really long day at the office. I think they will pick on him significantly because he's a man of talent, but when he's chucked into the cauldron of Suncorp against the Wars, he might have a hard time. And I think Wade Egan will probably be the guy to test him as well.
Yes, indeed. Geez, he looks like a star in the making, doesn't he, Verhoeven? And it was like, wow. I can see why the Warriors would have been like, "Oh, can we get that guy?" And also can see why Madge was like, "No."
Yeah, he looks like he's an athlete, eh? Like he looks like he's got some real good upside. So now I can see why the Warriors were quite keen on him. Like I get it now.
Yeah, that's right. Young giant from the West Coast. So what rains like about 300 days a year over there. And what a Dutch Tongan blood apparently. So some good genetics going on there for Verhoeven. But hopefully again, we just pepper him, lots of kicks, tire him out, put pressure on him. He's a young fella, and see what happens. But it's I'm starting to get excited now. It's only bloody Monday, but
it's because we didn't have any Warriors this weekend. I felt like I felt something was missing this weekend.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were struggling with that. So, yeah, it's okay. We've only got 2 more buys to go. But, yeah, lads, thanks for jumping on. It's been a pleasure to talk about the latest dramas. And, we'll see what kind of... It's actually come good now. See what kind of footage.
It comes good at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's done a nice long warm-up, and now it's like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But yeah, warriorsanonymous.co.nz, get your Warriors Anonymous merch, and we'll see what happens against the Broncos at Magic Round. And we'll catch you next week to wrap it all up. Until then, up the wires. Go the Warriors!
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar.